It's like as soon as I open my eyes, I think about the first few customers.
People expect you to be open, expect you to have the lights on, expect the shelves to be stocked.
I've been running it since 1978.
Well, I've been here 54 years.
My dad got in here at 64.
Since 1967.
I'm on my 32nd year.
It'll be 45 years.
A small town staple in Vermont could be going under.
Our country stores are a community staple in Vermont. A growing number of them are closing as they struggle to keep up with modern competition.
But when you lose your country store, people have to go somewhere else, and they lose that central feeling of here's where we go to be at the heart of our community.
We travel to some of the most rural regions of our state. When they talk about what their, best assets are, so often we hear about their community or general store.
When I go to the general store, I'm gonna see and know all my neighbors. We might do things differently, but that's okay. That's what's special about this place. We may not agree on everything, but usually we show up and care for each other, and I don't want us to lose that. That's why I live here.
Between the convenience and the social end of it, I think that it would hurt a lot of towns to not have a small mom and pop shop like what we have here.
These are small towns. And you have to have lived in a small town to realize that this is central.
If you don't have a local store to go to, then you end up traveling out of town. There's no more friends and family.
People that live here in Vermont really appreciate family businesses.
They're the essence of what small communities in Vermont have been and are.
We are one of the only general stores around this area, so it is huge for the community to be able to get their stuff here without traveling too far.
Well, it saves a lot of mileage, plus I like to keep my money local.
When they support the local store, it's coming back to them.
Jobs stay here, right? Tax dollars stay here.
You can go to the country store and buy some of those local products. It has an impact.
Those revenues go to our state. They stay in our state.
You're also supporting other small businesses in Vermont.
I'm most proud of the fact that it's a business that we have been able to carry on from generation to generation in a time where dairy farming is struggling.
It's the small community general stores that have helped grow us to where we are.
I have never carried anything other than Monument Farms.
General stores are the best place to stop at. You're gonna find all the local stuff that you're not gonna find anywhere else.
You'll find a local, salsa or jam or something that you're not going to find on the supermarket shelf.
We stay with a lot of local vendors, local farms. Lane Farms, we get their eggs, their pork sausage, pork chops, steaks, beef.
The general stores have played a key part in the beginnings of Lawson's Finest. And as our following quickly developed, people would line up for the 8 a.m. opening down at the Warren store. And I asked the guys, where are you from? They're like, oh, we're from Chicago. We drove here overnight.
As a country store, you welcome any and all local purveyors with a new product to provide a launching pad, for your neighbors.
Well, I can speak for sure for Miss Vanessa. Just about every local vendor in Lincoln has this product in this store.
Locally sourced meat from Eichenbrook.
Maple syrup made by her brother.
His sons are helping him. My father's up there boiling.
Glenn's bread, made right down the street.
She helped me out with getting my breads visible. It doesn't stay on the shelf long.
People have almost assaulted me to take 2 breads out of my rack as I'm bringing them in. And I still consider that a compliment, I have to say.
My business plan was to support local, but I ended up buying the box milk truck. We made a deal that I could bring a milk truck up there and pick up milk products from Monument. Well, I do appreciate you taking us on.
We work with a lot of small customers. That's the customers that built us up to be where we are now.
It's a symbiotic relationship that I hope to continue because everybody around prospers from it, and it's part of the reason that people want to be in Vermont is for the small, local, close-knit community feel.
These stores
and the families that keep them going.
They sacrifice.
I have to be here.
I was open Christmas for a half day. We were busy. I was here by myself.
It's endless hours. It's not a 9-to-5 job.
They struggle.
It has to be a labor of love.
And they can use our support.
In 1930, we delivered our first gallon of milk. Almost 100 years later, we owe our existence to the community stores throughout Vermont.
Take the time. Go in your own general store. Pick one thing your family may buy every week and say, I'm going to buy that at my local general store, because it does make a difference.
Support them. Thank them. Keep our communities thriving. Vermont Country Stores. See all 8 episodes presented by Monument Farms, monumentfarms.com.